from a secret location somewhere in Honolulu, Hawaii, I'm Shumai Shirashima, and this is Doom Business. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the show.
Hi.
Hope you enjoyed that last episode. Oh man, I'm really tired right now. Really tired. Ugh.
Now, why are you so tired? Is it because of that whole business last time with the astral projection and all that?
Oh, you mean the sleep paralysis?
Yes.
The shadow people. This is kind of related. I'm basically, I can't sleep. On purpose. I'm trying not to sleep.
What do you mean you're trying not to sleep?
Well, apparently, if you recall on the last episode, I was feeling rather guilty about what I've done to those people, and
the dog.
Apparently, and my reasoning was, look, it's okay. It's all on the astral plane. No one cares really. It's not in the flesh. It's of the mind.
Right. It's not as if someone's going to come and knock on your door.
No, but actually, yes, that was the case.
What?
A few days ago, I was sleeping in the toy store.
Of course, where you live now?
Yeah. I was getting really comfortable there. Very, very nice. I turned all the sexual man-sized dolls around with bags on their heads. So now I have butts looking at me. But that's okay. That's better than seeing the other side.
I see.
Yes. And then suddenly, I hear a knock on the door. On the store door.
Someone was outside?
And I see these lights. Now, shadow people are black with shadow. But these people, though, were white, like albino. And they had cop hats on.
Cops?
Like old-fashioned 1930s, tall cop hats with stars on them.
I think I know where this is going.
And billy clubs.
Go on.
But other than that, they were pretty much nude. Sadly, they were all men. There were 3 of them.
Ugh.
And one of them was standing behind the boss cop, and he was pounding his fists into his other fists. That scared me a lot. Now, folks, I know it sounds like we're laughing, but actually we're both petrified. So, long story short, we'll do a whole different episode on this, but I'm basically a fugitive like Harrison Ford.
Well, are you saying that the cops came after you? What kind of cops are these?
I guess they're astral police. Astral cops.
Are you saying
police.
that it's only when you sleep they come after you, though? Which is why you can't sleep.
Yeah, which I can't sleep. So it's like Freddy Krueger, but on an angelic level. So yeah, note to self, don't do sexual things in the astral world. I tried to explain. They chased me. So there are 3 of them. There's the boss police guy. He had his arms crossed, and on his left side was the bigger, fatter cop, albino cop, pounding his fists into his other fists. And the 3rd cop had this rock, and he just threw it at the window. But the physical glass didn't break. The spiritual glass broke. It shattered completely, and then they just ran through, and then they're chasing me throughout this toy store. I'm knocking over dolls and throwing I threw the whole manga series of Naruto at them. I didn't do anything. And they cornered me, I was cornered, like a stray bad animal, like a ferret. They raised their billy clubs, and they're about to hit me. But then, actually, ironically, one of the actual mannequins in real life fell on me. Sadly, it was a naked man, sexual doll. But thank goodness, though, because it woke me out of my dream, a quote-unquote dream, whatever it was. And since then, I have not gone to sleep. I can't. I'm afraid they're waiting for me. I know. You ever see the movie Powder?
Yes.
They look like naked powder, but with old-timey police hats and billy clubs.
That's pretty terrifying.
No, I'm sorry. I know you're tearing up right now.
Now, are they glowing white
Faintly. I said they were lit
so much
faintly.
that you can't see any details on their body?
Oh no, I saw detail. Believe you me, I saw detail. Oh man. But the topic of tonight's episode is dreaming. Dreaming?
Well, this is appropriate. Do you think that the entire thing was a dream? Even your previous astral travel?
I don't even know. I don't know.
If it's just a dream, it can't hurt you, unless you die in the dream, in which case you die in real life. So
I've been shot in the head in dreams many a time. And
But you
I'm
never
fine
died.
now. I'm telling you this, though, when those three astral cops were towering over me with their billy clubs raised in the air and their other billy clubs also raised in the air, I felt the fear. That fear felt as real as it does in real life, whatever real life is.
But let's say this was a dream. In that case, then lucid dreaming would allow you to get out of that situation.
Yeah.
And that's why we're talking about it today.
At the moment, though, at that time, I mean, like with most people when they're dreaming, you don't know you're dreaming. It feels so real. The only real difference between the waking world and the sleeping world, I mean, they both feel real, just as real, because your subconscious mind doesn't really know the difference. The only difference is one feels really slow, and one is things are happening really, really quickly.
Right, like Inception.
There's no time.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like that movie Inception, where the dream is way slower than real life, right? So like 1 minute in the dream is 1 second in real life. Is that right?
There's a very famous story. I don't think it's a real story, but it's very popular in fiction. Like first it was in the written word.
Yes.
Then the Twilight Zone did an episode on it. I'm pretty sure they did.
Okay.
But basically, in a nutshell, in the shell of a nut, there's a dude who's a convict. He's on the run, like how I am right now, with the astral police.
Right.
With their black billy clubs. Sorry, I gotta take a moment here. That image of... I could have died. It felt like I was gonna die. It felt so real. And surreal.
Well, the literal meaning of surreal
Super
is
real.
like a dream. So, that is very much accurate.
It's just those billy clubs are etched in my pupils. One in each eye, including the third eye.
So that's 3, which makes sense because there were 3.
There are 3 of them.
Yeah.
3 of them. So back to the story. The famous story, famous in my mind.
Now, is this the story where, well, I think I know where you're going, right?
There's a criminal, and for years he's on the run. He finds himself in a small town USA, where he makes friends, lovers, enemies. He has a whole life. A whole life.
But
then the cops catch up with him, and they take him away. And back in these days, they did guillotine stuffs.
yes.
So the guy has his head in the wooden thing in the hole, and they're raising up the blade. I'm doing the motions now with my hand.
Yes.
I'm raising up the blade here with a rope, and then they let it go. There's a whooshing sound. The audience gasps, and right when the blade hits the guy's neck, the guy wakes up. Now, what do I mean by waking up? What do I mean by he wakes up? He was dreaming the whole time.
It was all a dream.
It was all a dream. What happened was his headboard hit him on the head. But in that split second of the headboard hitting him on the head, he had a whole dream of a whole lifetime.
Your brain creates this entire story while it's falling in just that short amount of time. It feels like a long time, but your mind is working so fast.
Really, yeah, really amazing. The brain is amazing. I had a similar thing happen to me when I had a dream of me being chased by the cops, and I was on Mount Tantalus there. You know, the mountain thing with the road. I was going round and around this mountain, and I drove off the mountain, and I crashed. But right when I crashed, I woke up because what happened was I actually rolled off the bed.
You know, falling off the bed is very dangerous.
It is. I hate
More
it.
people die every year from falling off the bed than they do from shark attacks.
Is this a joke? Is this one of your
learned
jokes?
from Shark Week, or maybe people making fun of Shark Week. Well, let's talk about that kind of dream. Of course, also what comes to mind is the episode The Inner Light from Star Trek The Next Generation.
I don't recall that episode.
That's the episode where Picard played a flute.
Oh, okay, I remember
you ever
that.
saw that one?
I
Yeah.
remember seeing clips of him playing a flute.
He gets zapped by an alien beam, and he lives an entire lifetime in just a few hours, I guess, when he becomes unconscious. and he lives his whole life out in this alien civilization, because you see the beam came from a probe that stored the collected history and knowledge of those aliens
Yes.
to teach people in the future. Anyway, he had this entire life. He grew old, he died, he had children, not in that order. In the end, he woke up, and only a few hours had passed. But it changed him forever.
I mean, to live a whole lifetime like that.
And he learned how to play the flute during that time.
So in real life, so it ends with him playing the flute?
Yeah.
See, that's fascinating.
The ending. That's the ending.
That's very Matrix-like right there. You can just get information.
Well, some people believe that you can use lucid dreaming the same way, to study something and learn.
In the metaphysical world,
Yes.
they say that we're all connected by one consciousness, which goes by many names. The name that I like is the Universal Library System.
Yes, the ULS.
It's called something else, like the Akashic Files, I think, or something like that.
Sure, the Akashic archives.
Basically,
records. The Akashic records.
It's all the information that ever was, is, or ever will be. And I will stretch that to say, even in every other dimension,
these records have everything in them.
it's all information.
So you could go to sleep one night, wake up the next morning, and have a huge amount of knowledge you had no way of possibly having learned anywhere else that came to you while you were accessing these records in your sleep.
In extreme cases, I hear this happening, especially with demonic possessions. Possessions, not positions.
Yes.
Demonic possessions. Where, you know that true story of the Exorcist kid? It's based off of a true story, or a true event, nonetheless, of a little boy that was actually possessed by a demon, or the devil, and he ends up speaking all these, like, I think he speaks Latin, or some kind of dead language.
Speaking in tongues, right?
But it was an actual language, though, that he learned. And it was like, how did he learn this language unless on the side he was kind of just learning it?
Right.
No one really knows.
Like ancient Aramaic or something, right? It was a...
He had no business knowing this language.
And this is the true story that The Exorcist was based on. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Can we turn lucid dreaming to our favor? Let's even say you don't have the Akashic records. But let's just say you wanted to learn... Let's just name something that people might want to learn.
Yoga.
Right? Yes, yoga. Could you, using lucid dreaming, when you go to sleep every night, picture yourself in a yoga studio? There's foam mats on the ground.
Now, this is very difficult. This is very difficult for many reasons.
And you actually just learn it the hard way, just by practicing.
From like if you conjure up in your mind a yoga teacher, a fine Indian yoga teacher with red flowing hair and white tennis shoes, and you in your mind you say, you're the master, you're the teacher, you know everything, but I do not. Teach me some moves. She will. She'll start moving around. The question is, can you control your mind enough in that lucid state to do that?
But now, even if it worked, even if you said,
if you could control your mind,
yoga
and
teacher
actually
in
do
my
that,
mind, teach me yoga. What if you were just learning made-up fake yoga that wasn't actually real? And then later on when you woke up in real life, and then let's say you actually performed yoga in front of an audience, everyone would go, this guy's crazy because he's doing stupid fake yoga that he just made up in his dream. That would be terrifying to me. I wouldn't want to be in that situation.
Right. But there's also the other side where, what if you do learn correct yoga? Like the skyward dog, the one where your butt's in the air.
Yes.
And you look like a triangle, that one.
Should we back up and talk about what lucid dreaming is for those who don't know?
Can you explain it? I can tell people how to do it because I'm an amateur at it. I know some techniques.
The idea behind lucid dreaming is that every night when we go to sleep, we have dreams. Many we don't remember.
You do have them. Even if you don't remember, you do have them.
If you can, while you're in your dream, realize you're in a dream, you can take control of the dream and start affecting what happens in it. And you become the one with power. But what can you use that power for?
With great power comes great responsibility. And I know myself well enough to know that I just go crazy in my dreams. I fly around. I was an eagle once. And that felt great. It really did feel like I was flying. I remember that to this day.
So you made yourself an eagle.
And I was flying around, and it felt real. Like there was distance there. And I felt that the wind going in my eyes and in my mouth and my nostrils.
Your beak. Your eagle beak.
My eagle beak, yes.
Or were you an eagle with a human head?
I don't remember.
I mean, it's impossible to really know, right? Because you can't really see yourself unless there's a mirror there.
That's like, if I ever remember to have a lucid dream, I will remember that. Look into a mirror, see what I see. Although now I'm afraid to see what I might see. But that's if you remember. That's the hard part. You have to realize that you're dreaming. And there are many ways to do this.
Now, there's hints, right? There's hints that tell you when you're dreaming. One thing I've always heard of is text, words, things like signs or books.
Oh, yeah, because you can't read them. They become obscure. Because that part of your brain...
They appear scrambled in dreams.
That part of your brain is not working properly, if at all.
Yes.
And just like in that one episode of Batman, the animated series, Bruce Wayne was looking around in his library, and all the words were mixed up. And actually, that was a clue that he got that told him, I must be dreaming. The Mad Hatter had him under a dream.
Right.
And Bruce Wayne actually chose real life over the dream. And the Mad Hatter was just confused. Like, why would you want that?
Well, Bruce Wayne has an unbreakable will.
Unlike me.
Yes.
This one time, I realized I was dreaming. Now, look, I was a kid. I must have been like 13 years old.
So this must be one of the first times where you lucid dreamt, right?
I was full of young man lust and energy.
Ugh.
And I guess my imagination wasn't working properly. Or maybe I was actually transported. I remote viewed to another dimension where people looked like this. Basically, I was running around looking for a good time. But everyone around me, all the women around me, I think they were women, were only legs. And they were always facing away from me. That's all I'll say about that.
Wait, how far up did the legs go?
Normal ways. The normal height. That's all I'll say about that. But anyway, though, how do you do it? How do you have a lucid dream? Here's what I know. There are many ways, but these are the ones that pop into my head.
First, you have to recognize.
Now, I've gotten way better with my skills than when I was 13. How do you realize you're dreaming? You got to condition your mind in the waking world first. That's how you do it. For example, in your daytime, in your waking life, when you're walking around, notice the color red. And whenever you can, as much as possible throughout the day, realize red. That's red. That's red. And each time you say red, tell yourself, am I dreaming right now? Am I dreaming? Each time you see red, ask that question. And the idea is that in your dreaming world, when you're dreaming, you will look at red and say the same thing, and you will usually say, yes, I'm dreaming.
You just condition yourself to always ask that question.
You anchor it, yeah. You anchor red with the words, am I dreaming? Or, I did this once too. There's another way. You look down at your feet. Because usually you won't be wearing any shoes. And you're going to say, hey, wait a minute, usually I wear shoes at school. I did that once. Then I realized I was dreaming. I was at some school pool competition. Everyone was there. I looked down, I had no shoes. And then I'm ashamed to say I did stuff.
But if you're at a pool, maybe you actually didn't have any shoes on because you're at the pool. So you actually were awake.
It was a dream. I know it was a dream because I did unspeakable acts to the crowd.
The entire crowd?
Only the women. Not that it makes it any better. I still feel guilty. I have many, many more stories about what I do during my lucid dreams, but you can probably guess what I do. I'm trying not to go to sleep right now. I've drank a lot of caffeine and soda. I'm afraid of the dream police.
Now, as you stay awake longer and longer, you'll start to have hallucinations.
No, I know.
Your mind will start to break down.
Right. I have a friend who didn't sleep for 2 days, and he was in a car in the passenger seat, and he saw fire out from his corner of his eye.
Yes.
The buildings were on fire.
I think the mind can't take it. The important thing about sleep is that the mind has to recharge itself, right? Personally, I believe that most dreams, normal dreams you can't control, are like training simulations, right? Where the brain takes all the elements from things in your memory, things you experienced, and then it jumbles them up like a Mad Libs. It mixes them up and creates new situations so that you can practice how to react to that. Like, okay, now I'm sitting in a dentist waiting room, and I'm also making sandwiches. But how do I react, right?
Right. It's a very good theory. I think dreams, the images that you witness in a dream, are really just your brain's way of trying to associate some image with the emotions that you had during that day.
Another interesting dream thing I heard about, similar to the recent unsuccessful TV series Awake on NBC.
Never heard of it.
Well, of course not, nobody did. Is the idea of a person, and this is a true story of something that actually happened to someone who was studied by scientists back in the 50s. A man who lived an entire other life while asleep. So, according to him, every night when he went to sleep, he would dream, and the dream would begin with him waking up out of bed in another world. And then he would go to work in this other world, work a different job, come home, he had a wife and stuff, a different wife in his dreams, do things, whatever.
I know.
Go to sleep, and then as soon as he fell asleep in that other world, he would wake up again and be morning in the real world. And this would happen every single night. So he'd be living two lives.
So, what was the life in the real world then? Like who he was telling this to?
I don't know. He was some guy. I don't know what,
Like, what did he do in real life?
I assume he also had a job. So he's just working nonstop. But of course, it doesn't seem like that to him, does it? Because we don't remember what happens when we sleep.
No, it seems real. It all seems very real.
So this is like a continuous story in the dream, too. Each day is a different day. So he's living two lives. And the strange thing is, how do you know which one is real? We could be in a dream. It sounds cliche to say this, right? But we could be dreaming right now and not even know it.
Like the Matrix.
Exactly. And the dreams could be reality. Reality could be the dream.
I think an ancient poet said this once. He was an Asian poet. He
Yes.
said, "Lo and behold, as a man I dreamt I was a butterfly. But what if as a butterfly I'm dreaming I am a man?"
That's very deep. It really makes you question the entire nature of reality. What's that?
What are you doing here?
Oh my God. What is that?
Hey!
Were you expecting anyone to come by this secret location today?
Well, just my Please, don't be who I think it is. This is impossible. This can't be happening. Wait a minute. I just heard something.
What?
I just heard something upstairs in the kitchen. Shh. The door's opening.
Is there someone upstairs?
It's not. Is it?
Is it that guy who owns this place?
Well, that's. Who's that? Who is that?
There's something coming down the stairs.
Oh my God, I hope he's okay. I hope my brother's okay. I see a light. Are those flashlights?
There's someone slowly descending the staircase.
God, it better not be who I think. It's impossible. It can't be who I think it is. This isn't happening right now. This isn't happening.
I'm seeing white legs.
Oh my God, no.
Softly glowing.
How many of them? 6 legs?
There are 6 legs.
Oh no. Do you see black things in their hands? I'm gonna hide.
Wait, what do I do?
I'm gonna just stay there, like divert their attention. Get them off of me.
They're glowing white.
I'm gonna hide under this table here. It's a dream police. Oh my God, this can't be happening to me. Okay, on the count of 3, hold my hand, and we make like a little, like a clothesline, and we just run through the...
Okay, this'll work.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, as long as they don't see us, we'll rush out of the darkness and clothesline them. Pretend you're Hulk Hogan, and I'll be Andre.
No, I want to be Andre. Okay,
fine. On the count of 3. 1. Oh no! Oh my God! Leave me alone! Leave me alone here! If you have any questions, please post on our Facebook or YouTube channel. And thank you for watching. This has been... Oh no! Oh my God!
try to steal my gold. Whip out my shotgun and make me crazy. My eater no one smashed it. On earth with the certain world since it moved to one.
So Radio 1 and 2 are your best bets for the nighttime hours. But with the time now coming up to 26.5 minutes past 1 o'clock, from all of us on BBC One, I'll wish you sweet dreams, sweet dreams, sweet dreams, sweet dreams, sweet dreams.
Hey kids, you like basketball? Well, how about exercising your brain instead? Stay tuned for Hit Mozart with Shades of F, spelled F-A-T-T-E-S.